new beginnings or freshness. And that starts with stop tapping on people and start saying, you know what, when you closed that door on me 20 years ago, that hurt my feelings. And this is why. And this is what I want to do to rebuild. You got to open your mouth. You got to open your mouth. Any other questions? We're going to let the champ handle the rest.
Now, you did very well. Very well. So I have I just wanted her to speak from her from her perspective for us as men, and I got some stuff from her today. I just wanted to piggyback on some of the things that she shared. One of the things that you guys that she shared, one thing that stuck out is she asked. We said something like, treat people how we want them. How do you say it?
Treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah. So that is true, right? We treat people how we want to be treated. And that's true when it comes to morals and values. Right? Understand what I'm saying? That statement works when it comes to morals and values, because we want to treat people the way that we want to be treated, morally. But now if we piggyback or go back to what we're talking about with communication, that is not the way that we communicate with people. We don't treat and communicate with people the way we want to be communicated with. We communicate with them the way they want to be communicated with. That's a difference.
The way they show us to communicate with.
Yeah, because I can't communicate with you the same way I communicate with him. And if I just make a blanket statement and just start communicating with you the way that I want to be communicated with, that doesn't work. Because you may be an individual that you need a whole bunch of facts, or you ask a whole bunch of questions. That doesn't make sense. Me, I don't need all of the details. Some people want details. I'm like, yo, you can hold the long stories, just get to the point. Right? But some people, you get in a conversation, they go on the long way around it. You're like, dude, you could have just said that in 2 words.
Just do it.
So it's important for you to learn how to communicate with people on how they want to be communicated with. Because just using hands, or me saying you need to, right, to somebody, that may be like, yo, that's like you, it's a threat, bro. Like you don't tell me with somebody else, you're like, oh, that's just regular. So it's really important to learn how to communicate with people the way that they want to be communicated with. The second point, that one of the other points that she made, which was, I was just watching to see how you guys respond, some of the words that she was using, a lot of us men, we don't want to use some of those words. We just don't use them, right? When she was saying, she was using the word hurt, like you hurt me, like, right. Some of the words that she was using, like, yo, we don't.
Not something typical men to say.
Actually, that breaks down to a conversation me and my sister would have. I was taught men don't cry. You don't have hurt feelings. You're a man. Women, oh, you hurt. Let them know it. You know. in any aspect, you know what I'm saying? We gotta quit that. As far as, our upbringings, if you gonna tell a girl it's all right to cry, you better tell that boy it's all right to cry too. If you're gonna tell that boy, that boy, man up, you better tell that female to man up too. Woman up. But we don't. We segregate it. And that's where, like I said, that's where I'm running into problems. I was always taught to try to be this hardcore whatever. But my female, her emotions are so far up and down, I can never keep track. Because I don't know how to.
You don't know how to what?
I don't know how to keep track of her emotions because my emotions don't run like that.
That's not your job.
But it's
Right.
my job
No,
to
but
communicate
It's
with
your
her.
job. It's your job.
But
to
I
communicate.
can't because, like I said, she's emotional and it's here, there, and everywhere. And for me to try to lock that down so I can communicate with her is so difficult.
You can't because you say you can't though.
No, I said it's difficult.
But before that, you
Well,
said you can't.
I mean, I like, well, a choice of words, bad choice of words.
Yeah, but that's important.
Right,
It's
Right.
about that intentionality.
right.
It's important. The thing about it, but we just keep it 100, man. Like, you know, especially as dudes, we talk different. Like the choice of words, like we would want to use the same words, or we could, but some of us, we just didn't grow up in that environment. Like, you know, just in the house in itself, right? I mean, we had those feelings. Like, we were embarrassed, we hurt. I mean, some of us want to cry, but just don't know how to cry. Like all of these different things, but we only express it in one or two ways, right? I mean, and we see it. We see the high level, the behavior, the aftermath, which comes out in yelling or anger or using words that exude strength. But really, like, yo, I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. I'm scared. Frustrated. I mean, we may say frustrated, but you're not gonna really hear us say we scared about our future. I don't know if this is gonna work out for me.
Like I said, it's a learning process.
It is, bro. I mean, the way, the first step, right, is what you guys are doing here. You guys chose to come here to get assistance. You're allowing somebody else to assist you. Right? That's huge, to allow somebody else as a man to assist you and still not walk around here like, yeah, I really don't need your help. Right? Because you have some people like, well, I'm only here because, you know, in 2 weeks I'm like, bro, you can kill that pride. You can kill that pride.
You know what? I think it goes back when a child is young.
Absolutely.
See, because I was sitting, cause I got 7 kids.
Mm-hmm.
So well, I got 6 that's mine, and I got a stepson.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 young children, one a girl and one a boy, and I watch them a lot, cause it made me think about so many things. Like, now us men, yeah, we do have a hard time showing our emotions,
Mm-hmm.
but when you a child,
You don't
that
have
little
that
boy is the most crybabyest
Mhm.
little boys that
Mhm.
you can be.
Mm-hmm.
But the girls is tough. But when they get older, it shifts. Now, the girls is the ones that had that emotion problem, and the dudes is tough now. But like I said, it goes back when, I guess, when a boy is that young, they did all that little crime, wanting so much, and so when by the time they start turning into a man, it's like way different. Now it's like a protection thing, but it's kind of.
What you're saying is absolutely correct. The crazy thing about it, bro, unfortunately, is learned, man.
That's what
It's learned.
That's what
It's learned and it's taught, right? You brought up a good point. Most of us as kids, we cried. When we hurt, bro,
Right.
we cried.
We cry more than the girls.
Yes, we
more than the
cried.
girls.
We ran, unless, like I said, unless early on you was in an environment that didn't embrace that, right? But you learn they either encourage you to express yourself or they shut it down by rejecting you and making you feel like you were abnormal and making you feel like you were different. Like, yo, we don't cry.
Right.
You cry, I give you something to
To
cry
about. You know what I'm saying?
Right? I give you
Right.
something to cry about. Or your uncles, if you was raised by your uncles, your dad wasn't around, so your uncle's like, yo, I gotta step in, I gotta make sure that you ain't nobody's punk, nobody's sissy, or nobody's this.
Yeah.
So it's ingrained in us. So then we don't know how to process these emotions. So I want to express them and cry and say I'm hurt and I'm this, but I'm looking back at you, seeing how you're gonna respond. And when you give me that eye like you bet not, so now I bottle it up. So now it just becomes this behavior. Now I can't communicate with my wife because now I have these emotions and it's just a learned behavior and it's triggered to where I'm like, yo, I can't, this is abnormal. I can't do it even though I want to do it. It's like that trigger that puts me back to that place that you can't do this. This is a sign of weakness. This is a flaw.
Right.
So we don't do it. So it's learned. It's learned.
Same way with the females.
Absolutely.
Because females be all, like I said, the girls be more tougher than the boys. Then my baby
Well,
mother.
let me say
be trying to tell her,
I wouldn't say the females are more tough or the boys are more tough. It's this. Each child is different, right? So you may have a young girl who's more resilient at an early age or whatever the case. But again, and I'm gonna let you finish your point, but I just want to tap into what you said, is that it's not that it's a female versus a male. It's an individual. And that's us as fathers, we have to recognize each child that they are differently. This one is more resilient. This one doesn't show emotion. Okay? So maybe we have to coach her to be able to tap into her emotion when she needs to express it. I'm dealing with a father right now that his woman beats on him. And he's struggling like, yo, I don't want to put my hands on her. I can't. But she's used to, and that's the way that she expressed herself, is putting her hands on this man. So it was learned that it's okay to do that. Right? So I just want to say from what you're saying, it's individually, not male versus female.
Right, now I'm
Yeah.
not trying to say it like that, like it's for the male and female battle.
Yeah.
But I was, like I said, I was just scoping it out.
Yeah, with your kids.
And then, like how my baby mother be telling my daughter, that's not ladylike.
Yeah.
You gotta, so when she get older now, she processing, okay, well, she gotta do this as a lady instead of being a tomboy. You see what I'm saying? That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It's like when you're young, you're going through these different phases.
Developmental stages.
Right. And then once you get to that you like, okay, well, all that crying that I used to do that in the past. I'm not doing that no more.
Absolutely, man.
And all she thinking about, all that toughness that I used to be, I have to be this lady.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's just like, we go through so much.
Absolutely, man.
You know, that I ain't mean for no male or it's for everybody.
Yeah,
We go,
yeah.
this cycle is constantly going through.
Yeah. No, man, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. So I'm supposed to come back and do some longer term work with you guys, whatever the case. So when I come, man, we'll really delve in, into this stuff, man. We're really, because, one of the things that we miss as males is the nurturing aspect. We've always thought that the mothers or women do the nurturing, right? But that's something that us as males, that is our job and our role as fathers to nurture as well. It's not just for the females. It may just look a little bit different. Right? So yeah, man, so that's what, I just really wanted Raina to speak from her perspective today, and I just wanted to share a little bit of light and to piggyback off of what she said. But one thing I want you guys to know as I leave today, man, is that it's not, and you heard it before, but it's not how you start, it's really how you finish, right? I mean, you still, your book is still being written, right? I just need you to turn the page, right? I just need you to turn the page. What does the next page say, and what does it look like?
I used to say something to one of my exes. I'm that book you could never finish reading. Cause the next page I get wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. So my thing is take control, man. Take control. Take control. Learn what you need to learn here. Let this be an internship for you. When you leave out of here, you may say, you know, I want to start my own shelter. I want to start my own program. Right? You want to start your own. You never know. This is a pit stop, bro. Everybody have their own journey. My thing is embrace your journey. Your journey is dope. Like, it may not look sweet now from where you sit because you at ground level. You need to take that aerial view of it and see the big picture, not get so close to the picture. I need you to step back and see the big picture. Because when you're so close to it, you miss it, man. So step back, see the big picture, like, oh, I'm here, what's my goal? Where am I headed? Where am I headed? Where do I want to go, man? And what am I willing to pay for? What's the price? Somebody tried to sell me this I close out, leave on this. Somebody tried to, around Christmas time, my wife wanted, you know, a purse and a bag and all this type of stuff. And somebody was like, oh, you can go to this one Facebook store and you can buy it there. And it was like $750 for a Gucci, you know, bag and boots and the purse. And I'm like, yo, there's no way you get a $750 Gucci bag, purse, and boots, and it's authentic. The wallet is $750. It's not authentic. It was a fraud. It was fake. And many of us, what I'm saying is, we don't want the counterfeit. What you're establishing and what you're building, finish the process. Don't stop beforehand because you have a counterfeit. Like, oh, I'm done, I'm leaving. Bro, it's the counterfeit. Finish the process. Finish what you started so you can get what you need. So when you get there, you have that authentic boy, where it's real. Where you can stand flat-footed and say, yo, I'm the real deal. I'm not a fraud. So finish the process, man. All right? That's my time. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. So I have my nonprofit, which is involved that we work with fathers. We work with fathers, helping them restore their relationships back to their children, right? So a lot of our dads who, they may have child support issues, they may have custody battle issues, they don't have access to their children, all types of stuff as it relates to fatherhood and their child. So what we do as Involved Dad, we support dads that qualify. As long as they go through our program, we are able to assist them with their child support to get back on their feet. We become that buffer for the dad and the friend of the court. We walk with you with that process to get your child support order, you know, to a place to where it's affordable. Get them to look at it to see if it's correct or not. If you have a warrant for your arrest, we work with them to remove the warrant for your from off your name as well. You had a question.
Yeah, cause in CPS case right now, had my kids taken, right, 3 months ago. Was it last week or 2 weeks? I had just got them back. And yeah, like I said, I'm going through it. She said she worked for CPS. It was that kind of made me nervous.
No, she doesn't work for them.
Because I was like, oh,
that's not my job.
Oh.
And I never was a CPS worker. I was a foster care worker. So I would have been the person that helped you reunify with your family.
Orchard. You was like in Orchard. Family.
Orchards. No, yeah. I work for the state of Michigan right at 125 Union Street. So I was a state worker.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, but I wasn't with Orchards.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm facing some stuff right now. I'm going through this process, but I mean, you know, we getting it together. But
do you have the support you need? Do you have the resources that you need?
Man, my resources that I need is right here. It's St. Louis.
What he's talking about is good stuff too.
Right.
You might want to check it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, there's things that I could, because they do high level stuff. Is one thing. I just do fatherhood. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like a surgeon or a doctor. You have a general practitioner that just deals with all of this stuff. And then you have those who specialize in brain surgery, heart surgery. Me, I'm fatherhood.
Okay.
Right? Not motherhood, fatherhood.
Well, I just gotta write down your number and stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you my number or whatever the case. So we just another resource here in the city, man. You know, we work with, you know, a lot of families from the north side, you know, just helping guys get their life, you know, on track, man. You know, and I understand, bro. Me personally, I understand. From the streets, grew up in the streets. You know, man, I was blessed to have different facets. I've learned, I mean, the one thing that God blessed me with, I just knew how to play the game, man. You know, just been authentic. You know what I mean? I know how to walk in the room with those who are high level. I know how to walk in the room to deal. When I worked in the prison, I was rocking out with the inmates. I was there for 10 years as a chaplain. And they couldn't understand how I could rock out with administration and the inmates. Grew up in the hood, could go in the suburbs and talk with the best of them. Go on these board meetings and ask for a bunch of money, walk out with a pocket full of money for my organization. And the thing about it, you just have to learn how to be authentic to yourself, not song and dance. No, be authentic. Like I can come in this room, be authentic, and I'm gone. I was just at Michigan State University yesterday with some people who are supposed to be educated, and today I'm with my people in the grassroots. Right? So we just have to know how to play that game, man, but being authentic to yourself where nobody can call you out and say you're a fraud.
One of the things too I wanted to mention is it's wonderful to have connections with someone as committed and as I think as authentic as Shon. And that's the thing we were talking about, you know, what are the resources that are out there right now versus what are some of the things, the avenues we walk down to get us into bad places. There's a lot of good things out there. We got to look for them. We got to connect the dots to other good things that are happening out there. That's what happens when you start coming to good places, churches, AA meetings like that. You start connecting, networking with people that are doing good things, right? And that's what we got to fill our lives with.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff will come at us, but we got to fill it up with good stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So
Yeah. Just being authentic to yourself, man. And just know that you always learning, bro. You don't know everything, especially as this man, bro. I'm always learning. You know what I mean? Most people, they wouldn't want somebody else to come in a room and speak. They're like, no, that's my platform. I'm like, absolutely not, bro. I can't give you what she can give you. So my thing is like, yo, let's, you know, like I have this as a resource. So let's give you that as a resource.
absolutely. And the relationships that we have with our significant others are at least 50% of what really matters.
Absolutely.
Usually it's bigger than that.
Absolutely.
So we would be silly not to include and appreciate a woman's perspective. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I've really embraced that. We need to start coming together in those things. There are things that are specifically about men that we cover in this class, but the world is about everything. So we got to do both. That's very important. So I appreciate you being here too.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. We'll be back.